Hey guys, Sam here. Today we are going to talk about ELB, also known as Elastic Load Balancer. This is an offering from AWS, and as the name says, this will help you to take care of your network traffic coming to your web application or a website or a web page. You can reroute or distribute this extra traffic equally or evenly across your backend instances. That's why people use load balancer. So what we are going to do here is we have already got a web page which we have already broadcasted to the entire world in our last session. So we are going to put this ELB in front of it and let ELB take care of the traffic. If you guys haven't logged into the console, I request you to do it and navigate to EC2 dashboard. Once you are there, navigate to load balancing and click on load balancer. You will be seeing this button which says create load balancer. Let's click on that, and the very first screen it's going to show me two different types of load balancers. The first one being application load balancer, and the second one is classic load balancer. So application load balancer, it takes the decisions, routing decisions on the application layer, whether it is HTTP or HTTPS, and it's kind of advanced. And the classic one, it takes care of those routing decisions at the transport layer, and it supports EC2 classic or VPC setup. So I'm gonna run the show with a classic load balancer. I'm gonna click on continue. I have to provide and the name for ELB. I'm gonna say my ELB. We don't have any VPCs created. I'm gonna run the show with a default VPC, and then we have an option which says create an internal load balancer. So what is an internal load balancer? If you are in what do you call a VPN or a private VPC, you might you will be using this internal load balancer. It will not have any access to the internet, and for the routing purpose it will be relying on private IPs. So this is our internet facing setup. I'm gonna leave it as blank. And the next thing is advanced VPC configuration. We don't have any VPC, so I'm gonna we are using our default VPC. I'll leave it as blank as well. And the next thing is listener configuration. This is the area wherein you get to do cool things, such as if an HTTP request is coming in, you can even reroute and forcefully transfer that to HTTPS, wherein the users will be getting a notification, and the traffic will be turned into HTTPS. But for the purpose of this video, we are not going to do anything. So I'm going to handle HTTP port 80 request to the same thing. We are not going to reroute it. I'll say next, and let's select the security group. We have already created a web server security group. You can also select multiple security groups if you are wondering, but I'm going to stick with web server security group for now. And then configure security settings. We are getting this message. It's about the open SSH port and HTTP port. So I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to move it, and then I have the configure health check part here. So your load balancer will automatically perform health checks on your EC2 instance, and only route traffic to instance that pass the health checks. If an instance fails and the health check, it is automatically removed from the load balancer. So that's a cool thing about Amazon's ELB. You will have to define a file inside EC2 instance, and every time AWS does poll that particular file, and if that file is present, if it is valid, and if it is healthy, if it is reachable, then Amazon will allow that particular EC to be associated with your ELB. That's how it is. And ping protocol, I'm gonna go with HTTP. Ping port number, let's use the HTTP default port number, which is 80. Ping path, if you remember, we have already created this index.html. I'm gonna say yes. We'll be using the same thing. So every time ELB, it'll hit the EC2 instance, and it'll make sure that this index.html file is present over there. And then in advanced details, we have these kind of settings. We'll see one by one. The response time, it's a time to wait when receiving a response from the health check. So it actually waits for this particular health check, and it's gonna wait for 5 seconds, and within 5 seconds it is expecting some sort of response, whether it is that file is present over there or not. And then the interval, so that's the interval time between cycles of health checks. Let's use it as 10. And then we have something called as unhealthy threshold. So that's a number of consecutive health checks failure before declaring an EC2 instance unhealthy. So it will wait for 2 cycles. So the interval is 10, and then it's going to wait for if it is getting the failure, I mean index.html is missing, or something wrong with that particular file, it will wait for one more error, and it's gonna declare that particular EC2 instance as unhealthy. And then the healthy threshold, number of consecutive health checks success before declaring an EC2 instance healthy. So let's say 3, so that it's gonna wait for 30 seconds. Interval is 10, so it's gonna do 3 times the check, and then it'll declare that okay, this EC2 instance, it is healthy, it can be associated with your ELB. I'm gonna click on next. So next it says adding EC2 instance. I'm gonna go ahead with my web server, and then we have something called as enable cross-zone load balancing. You can see it over here. Cross-zone load balancing distributes traffic evenly across all your backend instances in all availability zones. It's not going to work for us because we have a single instance, and the zone is 1A, AP South 1A. But anyway, let's leave it as blank. And then enable connection draining. You have that setting here, and it is set as 300 seconds. The number of seconds to allow existing traffic to continue to flow, that's 300 seconds. It's a bit beyond our scope for now. Let's click on next and create the tag. Let's say type, I'm gonna say ELB. I'm gonna add one more tag, that's environment. I'm gonna say dev. I'm gonna review and create it. Click on create. So my ELB, it says it is successfully created. What I want to do next is navigate to this section. So this is our ELB. Let me bring this one up and navigate to instance section. It is saying that it is out of service, but remember, we'll have to wait for that interval. I believe the healthy threshold, we have set it as 3 or something. So 3, and the interval timing is 10 seconds. So altogether we'll have to wait for 30 seconds. So let's wait for some time, and let's refresh this. So here we are, guys. I mean now it says it's in service. You can see things like the associated instance ID, the associated EC2 instance name, the availability zone it is in. Things like that can be seen here. So I'm gonna quickly go to description, and this is the error code or the DNS name. Let's quickly go to that and open it in a new tab. So that's it, guys. I mean now the ELB is handling all the traffic. You have this custom, what do you call, not custom, a random ELB address coming from AWS, but think about this, you can even customize it by using DNS and other things. You can have a domain name in front of it, and you can completely mask it. So that's how you will be using ELB in front of it. I mean ELB in front of your website. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I'll see you in the next one.